Me and my family had decided to go on vacation in Florida. When we arrived at the dullest plane ride in existence, we took a bus to our hotel. The hotel we decided to stay at looked kind of crappy from the outside, but the inside was just fine. The only problem is that the employees looked as if they hated their life. In the lobby, a huge picture of a man in 1930s attire hung on the wall. The words engraved into the frame read, "Frank Bellavitch, founder of Bellavitch Hotel." The painting had this eerie feeling to it, and the eyes looked as if they followed you. I walked past a man pushing a cart with a mop. He looked like he'd been smoking crack for the last 20 years. Another janitor walked past me, but this one looked healthy, just tired and miserable. We finally reached our room on the third floor, room 232. We pushed in the key and unlocked the door. The second the door was opened, and a rush of hot air blew straight into my face, delivering an odd smell to my nose. The smell wasn't necessarily bad, but just odd. Like when you visit a friend at their house, but the smell is different and you don't really like it. The beds had that sour milk-like odor that is commonly found in the homes of the elderly. The TV was small, but it worked. We immediately put our Netflix on the TV and started watching a zombie movie about Las Vegas. After chilling in the room for a while, I decided to go to the pool. On the way to the pool, I got a notification from Reddit telling me my scary story posted to the Scary Stories subreddit had gotten 5 more upvotes, but I shrugged it off. Upon arriving at the pool, no one else was there except for an old man who just stared at me with a toothless grin. I was only 16, so this scared the living hell out of me. So I just went back up to my room. The elevator door didn't want to open, so I took the stairs instead. I entered my room and sat down in the computer chair, and that's when I heard someone whisper my name from behind me. I turned around expecting my mom or my sister, but no one was there. Right after, I found no one else in the room. My mother sent me a text saying that she and my sister were at Market Basket, picking up subs. My father was at the casino. I told myself that it was just my imagination, trying to freak me out, but when one of the cabinets opened on its own, and hearing my name whispered from right in front of me despite no one being there, I knew it was time to leave this room. I decided to go to the comic book store across the street just to get somewhere more populated. I went into the comic book store and looked around for a while. I ended up purchasing 2 comic books and a couple of Pokemon packs and left. By the time I reached our hotel room, my mom and sister were already back, but father was still at the casino. I told them what happened, and they shrugged it off as just the wind. To make it worse, they teased and started making cheesy ghost sounds around me like, ooh and boo. My sister, who was now 17 by the way, put a blanket over her head and said, boo. So I pushed her. She fell on the floor and struggled to get the blanket off and stand up. I laughed hysterically, and my mom yelled at me. Hey! It was getting late, so I laid down on one of the beds and started scrolling through Trevor Henderson's Instagram page. After about 2 hours of doing dumb shit on my phone, like watching Oni-chan memes and repeatedly prank calling the same Burger King over and over again, until they stopped answering their phone, it was 1 a.m., so I decided to get some sleep. I awoke to tapping on the window and more of my name being whispered. I looked and it was 3 a.m. This freaked me out even more. I finally worked up the courage to look out the window, and what I saw terrified me. It was a head staring back at me with cold dead eyes through a 3-story window. Its skin was rotting and the hair was falling out. As soon as I started thinking it was fake, the head smiled. I turned to find my mother and my sister were not in their beds. The internet was out and my phone was too glitchy to call someone. I ran to the door as fast as possible and ran out into the hall. As I was running through the empty hallway, I heard creepy children's laughter and the distorted laughter of something sinister. I kept seeing shadow figures in the corner of my eye, but I kept running and then I stopped. I I wasn't getting any closer to the end of the hallway. A piercing headache invaded my head, causing me to drop to the floor. My ears were ringing, and the room was spinning around me. Shadow figures surrounded me. Children's laughter engulfed me. The children's laughter became more distorted, and the shadow figures were getting closer. I let out a blood-curdling shriek, and I felt the darkness covering me like a blanket. The voices, the laughter, the ear-piercing rings moving farther and further away from me until I could feel my own sanity and consciousness being stripped from me until nothingness.